This is Jonathan Agoff here for Pro Boxing Fans. I'm joined all the way from Las Vegas on Zoom by undefeated heavyweight Jeremiah Milton, 3-0, 3 KOs. Jeremiah, good to meet you. Thanks for coming on. How's it going?
Man, pleasure, man. Right now I'm just in Vegas, man. I'm in my house, just getting ready for my next workout. But life is good, man.
Another heavyweight, American heavyweight coming through. There's a good number of you right now coming through the ranks. And before we get into sort of your last fight, let's talk about how it sort of all started for you. How did you first become involved in boxing in any way?
So, I mean, when I was a kid, 15, 14 years old, we used to have little neighborhood scraps with just a pair of boxing gloves, Friday night fights, we call it. And then, I went ahead and graduated high school, didn't compete in boxing, was a high school wrestler, went to college, played American football, decided I would quit American football around the 2016 Olympic year when I was watching, boxing, Olympic boxing. And then I decided, let's go ahead and try to turn this around. So I didn't start boxing until I was competitively like 22. I've always had an interest in it though. But yeah, around 22, I took to the amateur scene, 3 years amateur, went to Olympic trials, played silver out there, a little alternate position, turned professional during COVID, and been fighting since. So about 1 year pro now.
How did you find transferring from American football to boxing in terms of the training?
Yeah, totally different training. My work ethic has been the same though. So I worked really hard then when I was in football. I never really defined myself as one particular, sport. I've always just been a really athletic guy. So I could just do a lot of different things. It kind of comes natural to me once I really start working on it. But I think the transition was good. The transition was really good.
Did you watch a lot of boxing growing up, or was it just a case of when the Olympics came around, that's when you started watching it?
No, I've always been curious about boxing, So whenever I was younger, I didn't necessarily just watch boxing, but I was always like somewhere around the sport in a different way, So like the movies and things like that really is what like kind of like, the idea of just being a fighter, traveling the world, fighting different people and stuff. Like, grew up on a lot of martial arts films, really, like Bruce Lee, Van Damme, stuff like that. Then guys like Muhammad Ali because of just how iconic they were. But yeah, I've always been around fighting sports.
Yeah. You said you sort of were Olympic alternate. How well did you do as an amateur?
Oh, yeah. So I had about 35 amateur fights. For the most part, I was training in Oklahoma where there's like no sparring, nothing for big guys. And so like, I was, I did really well for just jumping on the scene. Like I said, this is like my 4th year actually as a boxer with, the best to do it. So, I fast-tracked myself in a different way, but I did really well as an amateur, I have to say.
Did you win any titles or anything?
Yeah. So I won the National Olympic Qualifier, the Western out here. So that's the Western USA's. I was national champion, was Olympic alternate, silver medalist at the trials. Spent a little time with Team USA where I got some more stuff added to me as far as like training and just what it meant to be like a top level athlete again. And so, I mean, the accomplishments and stuff like that. I just happened to be at the right place, man, and worked hard at the right time.
So obviously you mentioned you made your debut during the pandemic in August last year. Was the aim to try and make it to the Olympics? Was it sort of you turned over because of the pandemic?
Well, originally when I got into boxing, I was clueless about a lot of different things, So I was watching the Olympics and I seen it. That wasn't necessarily my goal. Like my goal in life, I guess, as far as boxing has been always to become a professional boxer at some point, and not just a professional boxer, but a recognized one. And so when I figured it was Olympic year, I was like, whoa, there's Olympics coming up. maybe I stick around and I shoot for this. So that became like the new target, was to go for the Olympics, make it on the Team USA and represent. Of course, if you could do something like that, then, you know, that carries a lot of weight behind it. But yeah, nobody foreseen the pandemic, and the way things kind of turned out, it was best move. You know what I'm saying? 26 years old now. I got my son. There's no money chasing the amateurs. Very difficult. Very difficult. Just to stay.
Yeah. You made your debut at the Cronk Gym. How was that?
Bro, just legendary. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up. That's just legendary. You know, that's where guys like, you know, Emmanuel, you know what I'm saying, Kronk, you know, you got Thomas Hearns, you know, came out of the Kronk. Yeah, just all the old school greats that I watched and I studied and I listened to. Yeah, that was a moment. It was really special.
Yeah. And, you know, you've had 3 wins since turning over. Your third win was back in your hometown in Oklahoma on that Joe Smith Vlasov undercard.
Yeah.
What was it like just fighting back at home?
Man, I told everybody going into that fight, man, like, that's gonna be my show. You know, like, you know, this is where I was raised. Literally, my mom's house is like right down the road. I could have walked over there, you know what I'm saying, to go see her from the event. You know, that's my neighborhood. That's my town. That's my city. I always claim it. It inspires me. I got a lot of passion behind my city that continues to like motivate me to stay out here and do my thing. A lot of pride in where I come from. And so, yeah, that was that. You know, I'm gonna do a lot of great things in this sport, but that will always be a moment for me.
And to get that opportunity so early on in your career, there was a crowd there as well. So that's good for you, just to, you know, get your name out there in Oklahoma to people, to maybe people who didn't know who you were before.
For sure, for sure. I mean, you know, I kept saying going into this fight it's going to be on a national level, but it was broadcast, you know, worldwide. You know, and I forget that sometimes. So to bring that type of exposure to my home town, which is not a boxing state, you know, they've had some guys come out there and do some things, but you know, they showed a lot of interest and a lot of love, and it's been a lot of back. So like, I would like to carry some of that energy on to them, and, you know, gain the support, like how you have like a Terrence Crawford or something like that. You know, just small town. You know what I'm saying? Small city, but doing big things.
And that knockout went kind of viral on social media. Talk us through that, because what I found most interesting about that was when you had your opponent hurt, you sort of realized he was hurt and sort of out of it, and you didn't, you know, try and hurt him further than need be. Just talk us through that knockout.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been in there with the best, man. I've been in there with some really great guys. You know, we were getting in a lot of rounds. I walk in there with, you know, nothing but confidence, you know, based off what I'm doing. I know it's going to take a lot for somebody to, you know, match me. I'm not going to see anything I haven't seen. Um, you know, when you're sparring at this caliber, you know, everybody I've sparred with since moving out to Vegas has been nothing but world champions or former world champions or straight contenders, or, you know, very highly touted prospects. So when you think about the fight, you think about what was going into it. You know, I feel like no matter, even if I'm fighting a guy at a high level, you have to be in control. You have to be in control of your emotions. You have to be aware of what's going on. You know, he was never going to land anything big on me, even though he was throwing big shots, because I was just in that tunnel. I was seeing it. The experience kicked in. You know, they wanted to see. You know, big thing was, you know, go out here, make a statement on professional TV. You know what I'm saying? Let everybody see, like, just, you know, that there's levels. The guy, you know, he hats off to him as a competitor. You know, he gave a good showing of himself for as long as he could. But, you know, I was in absolute control. So when I hit him with that shot and I seen the way it reacted, you know, I seen how he went out, his lights were done. You know, I hear a lot of different people have different breakdowns. Most of the internet received it as love, and I'm thankful for that. You know what I'm saying? They like, oh, really respectable. Yeah, I can only be me in the ring. You know, I can't be anybody else. Somebody else maybe wants to hit that guy again. I didn't see any need I knew exactly what happened. I never stopped punching a guy in the ring until that moment. I just didn't see the need. I didn't see the necessary reason to do it. If he comes out of it, so what? I'll put him back there again. But it was over.
I guess that I don't know, but I guess as a fighter, you're pumped up. You've got adrenaline rushing through. That must be quite difficult to control, especially when you've got that knockout set up.
Yeah. It's very. I guess it's very difficult to control because, like I say, we're told to keep punching until the referee pulls you off and all these different things, man. But I watched these old school champions and just how they would carry themselves, and boxing it has its business elements and it has its darker dog type tones to it. But you see these great guys, like I say, they just seem like they're in control. They're in control of the moment. And so I just wanted to be in control of the moment. And I felt like, the fight was over. I can't guarantee that'll happen every time, you know what I'm saying? But for sure that fight was over. It was for sure over. I just know it, you know what I'm saying? So it's not a, some people are like, oh, they come to me on the side, keep your killer instinct. Make sure you have that killer instinct. I got that. You know what I'm saying? I got that too. You know what I'm saying? There's no worry in my mind that I don't want to, take a guy out. That's what the intent was on that right hand he got hit with. But it was over.
I mean, that was a big card on ESPN, Top Rank. Have you had any sort of conversations with your team about when you might be next out, if it might be on ESPN again?
Yeah, I mean, after giving a showing like that, I figured we probably be, headed back in that direction sooner than later. Because like I said, that fight, elevated my status and put me on notice for sure, especially just how it all kind of played out and everything worked out. I feel like we kind of was able to bypass some steps and kind of, step over some things. It's just like, yo, I am the real deal. You know what I'm saying? I want to be taken seriously. I didn't come into the sport not to be taken seriously or to be, and like I said, it's only my third fight, you know what I'm saying? But obviously, I was able to prove, you know what I'm saying, that I got more to show. And I held back, you know what I'm saying? They didn't get to see all the goods.
Do you look at maybe someone like a Jared Anderson, for example, see his quick rise through the ranks and think that maybe in even 12 months' time, you're going to be at that sort of level?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my boxing career has always just moved faster. Jared, he's been fighting, as a boxer for a very long time. I think he was in the gym maybe around 12 or something like that. So, he had a lot of skills to him. We sparred up at the Olympic Training Center. That was about 2 years ago. He was at a different weight class at that time. He wasn't even a true heavyweight or, I see how he's moving. I see how they're doing with him. But, we're on the same card. Everybody's talking about my fight. You know what I'm saying? I said that was going to be my show. That show was going to be my show. So, I feel like, FA had a pretty dominant knockout.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, how it all played out. I'm always catching up with these guys. I'm not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't have all the engine behind me, you know what I'm saying, put me in that position. But, I hope the world took notice, you know what I'm saying? And that's not to downplay anybody or anything like that. I just want my just due. I want to be right there with the best at all times. So yeah, I'm always catching up. We're on the same card, it's my hometown.
Well, definitely a statement from yourself. You mentioned guys you've been sparring. Now, one guy in particular, the UK fans are familiar with, Tyson Fury, out there in Vegas. You've been sparring with him. He's just sort of arrived in the last couple of weeks. How have you found that experience? And how many times have you sparred?
Oh man, I mean, last week we did three times last week. We'll probably do another 3 this week. Yeah, I think. So what do I even begin with it, man? He's a whole character, man. He's got a lot of energy. You know what I'm saying? Great guy, really great guy. So whatever you see on the media is him, it's not a front, it's not a facade. He's not like, anything that you wouldn't really kind of expect. Like first thing I walk in, he congratulates me on my win before I can even introduce myself. So he done his proper, evaluation of me and everything like that. Invited me over to work with him for one. Yeah. So like not only are the rounds like, tough at the highest level, it don't get any higher than him at the moment. But he's also taking me to the side after, showing me some things here and there. And then, he's making me rise and what I need to do whenever I see guys like that. So when I get back into the ring, I'm back on that cloud again, and I can just continue to deliver at a high level. So it's been nothing but, major props and respect to him. And we're competitors at the end of the day, what I'm saying? So he gets in the ring and the man's he's coming, and I'm making my adjustments. I'm, trying to, find my moments and stuff. But like I say, just a true classy guy.
Yeah, before we talk about sort of what he's like in the ring, outside of the ring, I saw you post that photo on Instagram of you sort of talking to each other at the side of the ring, the top ranked gym. What sort of stuff
Yeah.
has he been sort of mentoring or telling you? Because, he's been at that top level twice now. Yeah. What sort of stuff has he been talking to you about?
He's not shy about, complimenting what you do well. You know what I'm saying? What I know it's about guys that are like his stature, and just been there, done that, been in the game for so long. It's not an ego thing. Now competitive, he still spars with something to prove, but like, he's very I don't know, just it's not like he's just trying to inspire you to keep going, but he's just being honest with you about like your potential and the things that you're doing great, and like what you can add here and there. So I'm just all ears for that, because like I said, I'm not a man of ego myself. So I've never been a person of ego. And so seeing somebody that is at that level where he could just be like, blow you off for the most part, to come by and really like try to chip off to you, that's major.
In terms of in the ring, you've sparred a lot of guys, as you said, but sparring someone who's 6'9" and moves the way he does, how do you find sparring with Tyson Fury?
Um, you know, you have to really be, you have to think in there, you have to like make sure you get off. So you can't be like you can't fall asleep in there necessarily, or because he's not gonna let you win the rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like and not saying anybody in the past have but you could tell some people in the past have like, maybe like lapsed here and spots there and there. But he's one of those guys that stays switched on, engaged. He knows how to use his distance very well. So it's not easy to just land. No freebies, with him. You know what I'm saying? So you're working to get it all. Anything you want to get, that's just my honest opinion, is like he's not giving you anything free,
Mm. I mean, everyone in the UK is talking about this potential fight with Anthony Joshua. Is there a reason why you've been brought into the camp? Do you sort of mimic his style at all?
I mean, I'm a very athletic dude. Joshua's very, very athletic. Um, I Nobody's telling me to mimic anything, So like, I can't say that, that that's what it is right now. I think Fury is just a guy who loves boxing. He really loves it. He still has a passion for it, like if he just started. Um, so he was really excited about my performance, and he wanted to see me in the ring. And he's invited me on the runs to come with him and stuff like that. So I don't know what's really going through his head as far as any of that stuff goes. I honestly don't believe he puts as much pressure as the media builds up the Joshua fight to be. I'm sure Joshua's not doing it the same thing either, but I can't say there's like any extra motive going on right now outside of just enjoying boxing.
Mm. Well, for you anyway, it sounds like great work, great experience for you heading into your sort of career and even the next few fights.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I say, you're not going to see anything I won't see anything like this, you know what I'm saying, for a while. But like I say, it just makes you that much better, that much sharper. When I get in the ring with one of these other guys next, they won't be able to pull off the same tricks. And yeah, he's a conundrum. I keep saying that because he's got the height, he has a lot of different advantages, and uses it all. So, when you figure out a puzzle like that, you know what I'm saying, I don't know what else there really is to see out there.
Just lastly on him and Joshua, if they meet, and I appreciate you might be seeing him this week or today or tomorrow, so it's up to you if you want to answer this, but how do you see that fight playing out between them?
Yeah. I mean, I still give that edge to Fury. I've been saying it before I met him, before anything like that. I still give that edge to Fury only because, he's proven time after time that he gets up off the canvas. Steve Cunningham placed him down. He was able to get back up. Wilder placed that shot. Nobody's really returning from those Wilder right hands. He's not just a typical heavyweight. He has so many tools to bounce around, move around that ring, throw from these awkward angles. I really liked Vladimir Klitschko back whenever Klitschko was the champion. I remember when he came out in the Batman and, he was like doing all the, talking and just mentally getting in his head. And, Klitschko didn't have an answer for him then when he unified then. I still give that edge to Fury. I like what I'm seeing from him. Joshua's a very tough dude, though, of course, big guy. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But I'm giving an edge to Fury.
Well, Jeremiah, really appreciate all your time that you've given us today, talking to pro boxing fans. Do you want to tell us where we can follow you on all your social media?
Yeah, absolutely. So y'all can get with me on my Instagram, which is Dreamland_Milton, or my Twitter at DreamlandMilton. And so that's mainly where I'm at. IG's been just going crazy lately. A lot after the knockout, so many people inboxing me. And then if you're seeing this, you already know about me. I appreciate that. Appreciate the support. And just stick along for the journey, man.
Now, when do you reckon you're next out in the ring?
I'm hoping, if not late May, then early sometime June or something like that. Yeah, potentially. Like I was right now. I got back. My coach, he suffered an arm injury, so he's still recovering from that. This fight, stuff like that. I was scheduled to fight May 1st, but things kind of just went crazy after this, so we weren't able to pull off that May 1st date.
All right.
I'm in great shape right now, especially getting these rounds in with the champ, but just things have to be in order. So as soon as everything lines back up again, I want that soonest date. Hopefully I can be back on network so everybody can see what's going on as well.
Great. Well, when you have another fight or after the fight, hopefully we'll catch up again. Great to meet you, Jeremiah. Take care of yourself.
John, pleasure, brother.